cool. All right. So congratulations again, Violi, on
Thank you.
securing a role as a business analyst. This call essentially is just to find out what your experience has been like with the digital business school program that you went on, what it meant to you, how it sort of like help you in securing that role. So just a couple of questions that we just want an honest opinion about, so that it can help out other people that can be in that might be in your situation as well and have a bit of apprehension in terms of doing the course or not. So so very briefly, what was your situation before joining digital business school, and what made you decide to actually enroll with us?
So prior to joining the digital business school, I've been a BA for several years, but I've learned everything on the go through different jobs, through reading, through to training, quasi-training from different stakeholders. Nothing formal, nothing structured. So I just wanted to bring that all together into something a bit more formal, a bit more structures, fill in some of the gaps that I may have had from my training, and really get a holistic view of what a BA is and does that aligns with current best practice, and and also updates my skills and capabilities. That was really what motivated me to start working with digital business school.
All right, that makes sense. And were you able to achieve that aim that you came for? In terms of getting that holistic view, getting sort of that end-to-end life cycle of what a BA is meant to be doing at each stage, and in terms of if I'm in the analysis stage, these are what sort of like my expectations and what my deliverables should look like. Were you able to sort of like achieve those kind of level of understanding?
Absolutely, absolutely. That I didn't know those certain gaps that I had. I suspected there were some gaps, but I didn't know where they were placed. And what sort of skills and capabilities that I can use. For example, I was using one particular, let's say, form of analysis when there were others, and I didn't know that others could or combined could have been much better for a specific purpose. So it's great to get new tools and new skills, new ways of doing things rather than sticking to old ways that were restrictive. For
Mhm.
example, with I was using a lot the SWOT, but not a PESTLE, and PESTLE
Yeah.
is really important for external analysis, especially when you want to expand it. That I didn't know until I started working for you, or working with you rather. You helped me a lot to expand that thinking and to bolt on some of those skills. But also I got a more holistically. For example, in the past, I would take a lot of projects that were, especially in the digital transformation, they would stop at development.
Yeah.
We had a startup and we lost it. I couldn't take it to implementation and
Yeah.
testing. So it's good sort of to get the full view of the life cycle, where there were gaps in my actual experience. So that was really, really helpful. Yeah.
All right, cool, excellent. That's good. I think you might have answered the next question, but I'll still ask anyway. So, what would you say, like, which part of the program has been the biggest impact on helping you sort of like land the role that you got?
I think completing my understanding of the full life cycle and all the different stages, and also being able to bolt on some of those skills. I can go confidently now to interviews and apply, knowing that I have different ways of addressing business problems, not just one way. And I find that in interviews you get tested. They say, okay, assuming this particular analysis fails, what else can you do to fix it? So
Yeah.
I think the digital business school has been so good at providing different ways of handling problems at different stages. They literally give you a set of tools where you may have had, let's say, only a hammer, but they also give you a chisel. They give you a screw. So
Yeah.
a screwdriver. So I think this is my best explanation that you equip us, you prepare us for that,
Yeah.
for those interviews.
You'd say basically there's multiple ways to enter the market, right? There's multiple ways
Exactly.
to get things done, not just the one way to do it, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
as a business analyst, you
Exactly.
need to have a variety of tools in your arsenal to be able
Correct.
to. Okay,
And
that
I
makes sense.
didn't have that before I started working with you guys, so that's very
Okay,
helpful.
all right, cool. That makes sense. And in terms of the interview that you went for, right? How long was the interview? Was there
It
multiple
was
stages?
two
One stage?
stages.
Two
It was
stages. Okay.
two-stage interview. It was an initial screening and sort of motivations interview,
Okay.
with a bit of culture, and the second one was a task oriented. They presented me with some homework with a present. They asked me to present a solution, how I would approach a solution to a
Okay.
problem. It was demonstrating to them that I can use basically the Six Sigma DMAC principle and approach to a problem. So
Okay.
that was quite it's not something we covered, but a lot of the components of it is stuff that we covered. So it was
Yeah,
very
yeah,
easy for me
it's sort of
to
like
translate. Yeah,
you can bring it in. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. It
So
wasn't explicitly Six Sigma, but you can bring in other parts of
correct,
what you learned. Okay, cool.
exactly.
All right. And are there any particular skill, or if you were to pick one skill or technique that you learned at DBS, that actually led you, that you actually used in the interview, right? What would they be?
In that particular interview, the skill that I used, I think, is the process mapping. I think I wowed them by being able to take just some words that they put on a page about how they think the process works, map
Mm,
it really clearly and carefully, do it in a clean and neat way, and present that to them, and really make the argument to them live that
yeah.
here are some gaps in your process that you need to consider. I think that was very impressive to them. Just doing it very clean, very neat, very quick, and I think they didn't
Like,
expect that. I think that wowed them.
like I said during training, pretty.
Pretty, pretty, yeah, neat
Yeah.
and pretty, pretty, yeah. It made a difference for sure.
Yeah, everything that we do has to be pretty. It's very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And how did the digital business school support system, so the trainers, the community as a whole that you joined, the coaching, help you in staying motivated and staying on track to say, I want to leave where I am right now. I want to get to a new place and earn more, do more as well there. So how did the community and the support system, how did that help you stay on track?
I think the internship is a game changer because it keeps you doing and working and thinking about things. It brings it regular touch points with your team and sort of with coaches. But also, I think the fact that you do create a community through WhatsApp where we can look at new sort of let's say opportunities that come up. You're very open in terms of if you have an issue, just reach out, send a message, and you've been very responsive with any issues that I've had. I think that makes me feel like I'm part of a community, and that has been the most helpful part. You're not just delivering training, you're not just delivering knowledge, you're actually being a support framework in a community, and I think that makes a huge difference because you feel a part of something. So I think that has been the winning factor for me. And plus your USP, which I find amazing, is this with the support with applications and with support not just with application but also teaching us how to present ourselves, how to do the CV in a way that makes sense, and that sort of our employers and recruiters can understand how to present ourselves with the about me. You really do a full cycle, a full transition, and full support from end to end, not just knowledge, but also how to break it into the market. So I think that has been an absolute game changer and has kept me motivated.
Thank
Going.
you. Thanks for that. And how did you find the job application, the auto job application process that we introduced and we do for the students? How have you found that? Mm,
Really helpful, really clear. I can keep track of all the applications that are made. If I have any issues with the direction of travel, I can sort of let the team know, and they're very responsive. They correct it, or they take they correct the course. They've applied to jobs that have been of interest to me. I think the more my advice would be the more you specify, more specific you are on what you want, the more they
yeah,
can help you and they can get you what you want. So they
yeah.
really engage with them, I would say.
I
I
think
think it's been great.
you were quite specific in terms of the direction that you wanted to go down as well when we're doing when filling in the form, and that really helped the team as well,
Yeah.
to narrow down on exactly what we should be applying for. Okay, cool. Just a couple more questions, and then that should be it. What would you say to someone that's considering joining digital business school at the moment, but they still feel a little bit unsure, or maybe they're scared to start? What would you say to them?
I would say speak to IO or speak to IO's team and raise some of your concerns and fears, and let them address them, because I think you've got nothing to lose from this. I think they cover every area. So I think you might need to break that ice, or that that barrier, or that. So I would say reach out to them, have a conversation, let them know what you're concerned about, and let them address your concerns, because I think you've got nothing to lose from this. They cover every area. They're not going to leave you high and dry. So
All
that's what
right,
I would say.
perfect. Thanks for that. Thank you. And how long did it take you to land your role? From sort of like when you started the course and you actually secured a role that you're starting in a few weeks now.
2 months, I think. Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah,
It was really impressive. In fact,
impressive.
less one, because we didn't start applying until, what is it, a month ago.
A
So I
month
think,
ago, yeah, we started applying
yeah,
about
so
a
a
month
month.
ago, yeah.
So I think it's really impressive. It worked very, very quickly, and it's it's just testament to how efficient and how knowledgeable the DB's school team are. So take that as something to consider.
Thank you. Yeah. And finally, if you were to use one word to describe us at Digital Business School, what word would you choose?
Oof, um, God, one word.
Yeah, just one.
Incredible. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
take
that's
that.
really,
We'll definitely take
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
All
really,
right. Cool. And that's it. That's it. Just wanted you to share your experience with, the wider audience, so that anyone that's sort of like they're in your position at the moment, they're looking to break into tech, into business analysis. We're obviously here to help out and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you so much, Violi, and I'm really happy that you secure a role really relatively quickly. And yeah, looking forward to helping you stay in the job, right, with
thank you.
post job support. And obviously, we'll be in touch, and we'll see how the next few weeks goes. To set you down into the new role.
Wonderful. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
cool. Thanks a lot, Violi. Really appreciate
All
it.
right. You're very welcome. Okay.
All right,
Speak to you later then.
speak later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.